It's showtime, folks. Welcome in. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game here on this Thursday. We are live, of course, at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes. He's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe. Engineer Sean Mark is here with us. And, of course, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos back of the studio. What's up, JoJo?
What's happening, man? No, it's February the 13th. Almost through the second worst month of the year, and we'll be good to go. Am I audio on again?
Yeah.
Am I thing again?
You are.
Well, I've got YouTube TV through my laptop, and I love it, and I watch TV. There we go. Now, is that better? Thank you, Sean Mark.
That's better.
So we're good, man. We're good.
Glad you weren't watching, something else. So
JoJo doesn't do that. JoJo is solid.
Attaboy.
20 years ago, that JoJo, but no, we're good now, buddy.
But yeah, so we're rocking and rolling here today. Greg Wyshynski going to join us at 10 o'clock here on the program. Did you? I know the answer. Did you watch any of the Four Nations tournament last night?
Not a second.
I did. It was Canada and Sweden. I picked it up halfway through the second period. What a fun game. It was a fun game. They did the 3-on-3 overtime. It's a 10-minute overtime period instead of 5 minutes. Canada wins in overtime, but it was going into the third period. Canada was up 3-1. Sweden came back and tied it and forced overtime. Just a fun game to watch. I think they're on to something. It's a short tournament. It's a round-robin tournament. It'll be done by the middle of next week. A week from today, it'll be done. But cool concept. So we'll see.
So when's USA play? That's all I care about.
They play tonight, I think,
Against
the other team, Finland.
Okay.
The other team in the Four Nations.
All right. So is this going to replace the All-Star game every year?
I don't know if it'll be every year, but I mean, it's at least done it this year. So
okay. And then were you going to add other? Like next year, will it be 4 different teams?
Well, I don't know because the only one that really makes sense would be Switzerland or Russia, and they're not going to add Russia right now.
Of course.
So,
all right. I see it.
I mean, there's some others, obviously, you could consider, but I don't know. I
well, they won't do it next year.
Next year's the Olympics.
Correct. That's right.
So I like the concept though of the four Nations.
So cool. What do you get? Like a Lombardi Trophy? What do we get here?
You get a gift certificate to Denny's. And Tim Hortons
and the Macara massage place here at the Honor.
Yeah, exactly.
That works. No, I stopped when I lived in Hawaii. We went to the Pro Bowl. I got Jack Lambert's autograph, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool, the Pro Bowl and all that." And then it became like, I'm not watching this.
Well, that's
live. Yes,
that's my thing, and like we did the All-Star game here, 2016. It was awesome, and honestly, it kind of turned the rest of the NHL on to Nashville. They realized how cool Nashville was.
They did,
because Nashville blew it out of the park. But I am not a huge fan of All-Star games. I think they've jumped the shark. I think the players don't care. I think they're just they're just a made-for-TV thing, But you got all these NHL did the 3-on-3 tournament, which again was cool when they first did it. Now it's kind of meh, The NBA, they don't play defense; they just shoot threes all day.
Right.
The NFL, it's now a flag football game with Peyton and Eli, which I am totally sick of
because the regular game was awful.
Yeah,
and they got to be.
This is just as bad.
Yeah,
I mean, and then baseball. I mean, it's in the middle of the season and just.
Are they still doing it if you win the game?
No, they got rid of that. Thank goodness. That was it used to be if you won the game.
Home field advantage.
You got home field advantage.
Bud Selig wanted that, and then I was like, I used to watch the All-Star game, and Bo Jackson had a great All-Star game back in the 80s. And Fred Lynn had a grand slam at Comiskey Park in 83. I mean, these are old things that I remember because I watched those games so much back in the day. That was something else, man. But, then move on. All right, so I'll bust this question out real quick. Can I do it?
Go ahead. Bust it.
So today – you're a race. You love racing.
I do.
So this weekend these next 4 days for you is heaven.
Yep.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Daytona 500. Super Bowl just ended. Here's my question for our great audience today. What do you look forward to next?
Yeah.
What's next? One. I'm just curious. The next 90 days, 120 days, 3 to 4 months, what are you looking forward to? even in your personal life or in the sports world, because I don't know. I mean, I think I'm looking at the SEC tournament here next month. I think that'll be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But on the grand scale, what are we looking forward to?
Well, I mean, mine's very easy. It's this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay. After this weekend, what is it?
The tournament, probably. I mean, the NCAA tournament. Like, I'm really into college basketball right now. I'm more into college basketball than I have been in probably the last 20 years. The SEC is just so much. Well, I mean, college basketball in general, but the SEC is so much fun to watch. Like, Vandy lost the other day. That was a fun game.
Right.
I mean,
it was.
And I can say I saw this Auburn team play, which I think they're going to win the whole thing. Like, they're really good. But, Kentucky beats Tennessee. You just have a lot of – it was just like in football. The SEC's cannibalizing itself, but they're still, I think, going to get, 11, 12, 13 teams in the tournament.
So are you looking forward to the SEC tournament and the NCAA?
I'm looking forward to both.
Yeah.
I mean, the SEC tournament in Nashville is going to be a hot ticket.
Absolutely it is.
I mean, it is going to be a hot ticket.
It starts hot and heavy on that Wednesday where before nobody cared, but Wednesday all the way through the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, downtown would love to have Kentucky. And I'm telling you, man, all those Auburn fans that showed up to the night, they travel with that team.
Would you not? I mean, look, I know historically Bama fans hadn't cared about basketball, but they actually have a good team now. So, I mean,
wow, yeah.
I think Bama fans, Auburn fans, Kentucky, obviously, Tennessee, I mean, Vanderbilt would already be here. Right. Does Calipari bring a crew from Arkansas?
You hope so. It's chaotic. My friend Dale says it's easy. The Kentucky Derby, first Saturday in May.
We got Derby season coming up. I mean, WrestleMania for wrestling fans.
When's that?
That's April.
See, I like this because I forgot about the Derby, forgot about WrestleMania.
I know April 19th and 20th.
Okay, that's in Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a lot of things. I'm just curious what you're looking forward to because now it's like that hangover. Football's gone. Like, what are we going to do now? Because football ain't coming back till late August. So we've got another 6 months before we see football again. I know you got the draft and free agency, but that's not the same.
Will you watch the UFL? Like, if you're just scrolling through and it's on, and there's a football game on, will you stop and sit there and watch it?
Yeah, because I know several of the coaches and there's some players that are like, oh, I forgot about the guy that played at Troy or that Chase McCabe guy that played at Georgia Southern. He's there. So I'll do that. Is it appointment viewing? No.
No, but here's the thing. This is my message to the people. Support the UFL. I'm just saying, because I think if the UFL is successful, and this is now the third year, I mean, this is the longest the spring league's gone, and I mean, because you had the USFL and the XFL that kind of did their thing,
right,
and then they merged. Oh. I mean, this is the longest that we've had a spring league work. So support it because I think it'll help the NFL.
How?
Because they desperately need a development league. I know that, they can go, well, we got college football. College football doesn't give two bleeps what the NFL does.
Mm-hmm.
So they're their own pro league, basically, at this point. But if you have a development league, like I continue to use this as an example. If there was a relationship between the NFL and the UFL where the NFL, you could have a player and still own their rights and loan them out to the UFL, Malik Willis would have been the poster child for that.
But here's the deal, and not to play devil's advocate, but I've got a guy, I got Malik Willis, and I loan him out, and he blows his knee out. Why can't I develop him in my own backyard every day
playing
in my
he's
system?
Not playing. There's a difference.
I get it.
In being able to play and being on the scout team on practice.
I totally get it. I'm
like, how many meaningful reps did Malik Willis get in a Titans practice once they realize, like,
zero?
This guy has a long way
I'm
to
with
go.
You, man. But that's the argument. It's going to be we can develop him in our backyard.
But you can't. But you're not.
But they think they can.
Right.
Brian Callen, I can develop him. No, I'm with you, man.
All right.
I'm totally with you.
Let me throw it back on you. If you're not gonna play him anyway, you're not gonna develop him, you're not gonna practice him, and you loan him out to the UFL. I mean, I know this sounds kind of harsh, but what do you care? Like, you're basically, it's gravy at that point. If you own his rights and he goes and he flourishes in the UFL and he develops, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, we actually have something here, like a legitimate backup quarterback, then great. If he blows his knee out, like that sucks, but it doesn't change anything for you in the immediate.
I could see. I look. I know where you're going, but also know players aren't going to do it unless you pay me and pay me well.
Yeah, I mean,
if I get injured, what's my policy there being injured? And they'll be like, well, who knows?
It would basically have to be like you would have to develop a system similar to what hockey and basketball have. You have to have two-way contracts, and so you have an NFL contract, you have a UFL contract,
right?
Now, the injury stuff, I would assume that would have to fall under the purview of the PA and the NFL, and they would have to, come to an agreement on that. I mean, there's definitely a CBA involved in this.
Oh, yeah.
But to me, having a league, a minor league, I think would be something beneficial. I mean, baseball, here's the other thing. Is hockey a safe sport?
No.
Hockey's a violent sport.
Yeah.
You have a guy, let's say Sean Mark is a defensive prospect for the Predators, and he goes down to Milwaukee and blows his knee out. I mean, it's the same thing.
But you're comparing apples to oranges. NFL's not going to do that. NFL's not going to do
blow
these guys out.
But why?
They're not going to.
They're just look. You're probably right. But why? Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like it works for other sports. Why wouldn't it work for the NFL?
I'm bored. I think it would, but they'd be like, we're going to develop on our own and dropping down there. And look, it's these guys getting these second chances to make rosters. How many made a roster last year? 4, 5? I know the kicker did, right?
Yeah, I mean, there were a few.
Yeah.
There were a couple. There was a DB, I think.
The opportunities are great for that. I told you, NFL Europe was fantastic. I used to work with a quarterback who played for the Cowboys that was in the NFL Europe, and they loved all that. And they kind of got away from all that stuff, but I think
why did NFL Europe fail? Just money? People didn't care.
I think people didn't care. I mean, some of the games were at the beginning were good, but I think they pulled it back because of the money issue, and it's always going to be that way.
Yeah.
I forgot another event, which I totally forgot. The Masters.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Have you
ever been to the Masters?
No, I want to go.
I have no concern going down there.
I made a statement last week, and people were like, "What?" The Phoenix Open was last week. So Super Bowl weekend. I really want to go to the Phoenix Open because the Waste Management Open, because it just looks fun.
Oh yeah.
And I jokingly said to some people, like, yeah, I'd almost rather go to that than the Masters. And like, whoa, Augusta now.
Yeah, watch out. I mean, God bless you if you're in the Masters, but the thought of walking around following dudes on the golf course all day, I'm passing.
My dad did it twice, and he told me about it. It was when Faldo won one of them.
Oh, nice.
And Watson maybe, or I don't know. But it was like the late 70s, early 80s.
Not bad.
He got to do that. And always told me about that. We're live today at Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Our question of the day, what's next? Now that football's over, what's the next big event you're looking forward to? Plus, we'll talk to Greg Wyshynski at 10 o'clock here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game here on this Thursday, live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes. Hope you're having a great start to your day. You can weigh in on anything that we're talking about on our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com, 615-737-1025. Our question of the day that Joe has thrown out there, and Joe's gone MIA. I don't know where he went, but he will be back here in just a second. But, oh, there he is. Look at him power walking this way. Our question of the day is, now that the football season is done, Super Bowl is over, what next big event are you looking forward to? For me, it's this weekend, the Daytona 500. We got a few texts on our text line. Hello, Joe.
Hey, buddy. I see a man about a horse.
I got that. 6638 says, for some of us, MLS season starts next week. I get it. That's a big deal here. Nashville SC. We're going to talk to their general manager, Mike Jacobs, next week. So looking forward to that. And I know Dr. Crane is excited about the soccer season. Now, when does EPL start?
EPL has already started.
Okay, so it's going.
They've been underway for a good bit now.
Okay. I don't know how their season marks. So.
Yeah, the MLS, it's like literally different from everybody else in the world. Like everybody else goes from like from like August to the end of, I guess, April or May. And then the summer months is when everybody has off. And then the MLS kind of starts at the beginning of, I'd say the end of February into the end of October.
Yeah. I think their season's too long.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah.
I mean, because when you start dipping into football territory, it's gonna hurt you.
A little tease for Nashville SC, I'd say, like, because they're only in one tournament this year, which is the U.S. Open Cup or whatever, the Lamar Hunt Cup. I think it's beneficial towards them because they don't have as many games to worry about. Because last year they had the CONCACAF Champions Cup. They didn't have U.S. Open Cup last year, but the Leagues Cup, you're in like two different tournaments along with MLS and playoffs and so forth. Just a lot on the plate. And I think this year with a new coach, it just opens up a good horizon for them.
Yeah. 8566 says the Four Nations face off, which I watched last night, and looking forward to continuing watching that. We'll talk to Greg Wyshynski about it as well, because I think it's certainly an awesome tournament. And USA Finland tonight at 7 on ESPN.
What if you're what's another hockey country? I don't know.
Slovakia.
Yeah. Are they mad? You get left out?
I don't know. Ask them. Call them up.
I will. What's going on
they
here?
say. Let's see. Back to the text line. I'm looking forward. 2360 says, I'm looking forward to a Metallica concert. The most exciting thing that's happened at Nissan Stadium in a while.
So here's the deal. It could be anything. I just want to know what you're looking forward to, because we're talking like Super Bowl, and now the Super Bowl of racing is this weekend.
Yep.
And
somebody said, Josh and Burns said F1 premieres on February 18th, so that'll be cool.
I need to get into that because it's really popular.
When I watch it, I enjoy it. I just don't watch it enough.
What's the Netflix thing?
Because a lot of times, yeah. Because a lot of times F1's coming on at like 4 a.m,
right?
So.
But sometimes so are you.
Well, true. Not so much anymore. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm just tired of people, and so I'm cool just chilling in my house.
First step to becoming a mature adult. I'm proud of you.
I'm an old man now that it's just like,
I'm proud of you.
People are like, hey, do you want to go out? I'm like, no, I don't.
Somebody said, and I love this. It's like you get asked to an event, and now it used to be like, who's playing? Now that you ask, how's the parking?
Yeah.
How's the parking down
or how about this one? Who all gonna be there?
You get all those in, because if the parking ain't good,
knows.
I'm spinning around and going back home, man.
Did you ever get to a point where like people would ask you to do something and you didn't want to like let them down by saying no, so you just don't say anything?
All the time. Yeah.
But people ask you to do something, ignore them. Be a man.
Yeah. Be a man. Don't do that. I've done it all the time, and it's something that, and now you just got like, hey, I'm got this or got that, or something comes up, but for the most part, man, just sitting, watching, and just kind of being away. Yeah.
Yeah. Patrick says, as a big hockey fan and an Islanders fan, I'm all into hockey and the Stanley Cup final. So I'm always looking forward to something.
See, I wish I had that passion of just having that.
Well, I mean, racing's that way for me. Like, I I watched a little bit of qualifying last night. You know, the duels are tonight, trucks tomorrow, which that's always a bleep show. Truck racing's fun. Xfinity Saturday, the Cup on Sunday. I mean, this is my weekend. Like, and it's my soul cleansing weekend because I just love.
So
love watching.
Stupid question. What's the difference between an Xfinity car and a NASCAR car?
A Cup car.
Cup car.
It's a good question. They are different now. I mean, the Xfinity cars, according to the drivers, are actually harder to drive than the Cup cars. The Xfinity cars still have the old H pattern shifter and the old, you know, this old transmissions. They're more of the traditional car that they've run. The Cup cars are now very technology based. They have a sequential shifter. They have the single lug nut on the wheel instead of the 5 like used to. So, I mean, I don't know all the technical differences.
Right. But there are. So,
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
all right.
The Cup cars have just evolved so much. And, I mean, I would assume Xfinity is going to go that way at some point. But the Xfinity series is fun. Like, the race out here has been a lot of fun. So, I will watch that race on Saturday for sure.
Thank you. Thanks to know. Thank you for informing me. I had no idea.
Justin asked, was the horse's name Move It or Lose It? You can bet on him in the upcoming Derby.
The horse's name was Get Out of the Way. I've got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
That was the horse's name.
Lenny says going fishing. That'll be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the fishing part of that, friends who fish all the time and are happy as all get out. And I wish I was that.
Mike in Lebanon says, I'm ready for the new season of Resident Alien. I don't know about that.
Okay. I got a joke there, but I'm not going to tell it.
Staying away.
Staying away today.
I got a joke too.
Yeah.
8566. Russia is probably your answer for countries that got left out of the 4 nations. After that, probably Germany. I mean, Switzerland. Switzerland
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Roman Yossi would probably have something to say about that.
Exactly. Of course, I think he's still from Sweden. I get those countries mixed up all the time. Yeah, I just think that's I mean, the 4 nation thing, good idea. Guys having fun, but like, what if Forsberg gets hurt in that?
Yeah. I mean, Shea Theodore got hurt last night for Canada. And that's a big player for Vegas. I don't know. Look, they decided to do it. So that's on them.
Okay. It was never, doing things was never a concern. But when you think about it all the time, don't get hurt, then you're going to get hurt if you think about all that stuff. So I get it, man, but I just didn't. Who's the goalie? Do we have anybody?
Saros is there for Finland.
Okay.
Forsberg and Nyquist are there for Sweden. Ekholm is too, which I'm sure Preds fans will still claim him. So
what if Saros just balls out, man, and just becomes?
I hope he does.
Shuts out everybody.
Just shut some people up. So I can tell you something I'm looking forward to as well. March 27th, opening day in the majors, God's holiday. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right, who's your team?
The Braves are on the road against the San Diego Padres.
Baseball opening in March bugs me.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. April 1st. It should always be April 1st, and the Cincinnati Reds should always have the first game.
Let's keep tradition going on.
Yep, I 100% agree.
And the Braves shouldn't open at the Padres.
Well,
I don't care
where they open, but I will say this. I really hope baseball honors Pete Rose this year. I don't know how I don't know. I know the Reds will, but
have the Reds retired his jersey?
Yeah, they finally did a few years ago.
All right.
There was so it used to be when they built the new park, there were a lot of like subtle, homages, however you want to say it, to him.
Mm-hmm.
The light towers had like 14, it was like 14 lights or something.
Oh, okay.
And there was the smokestacks in the outfield had 14 bats around the top. The hit when he broke the number was on the back of the scoreboard.
Well, that's cool.
And where they had the retired numbers, they had them all in numerical order, but there was just a blank spot where 14 should be.
I like it.
So
good.
There are all these subtle little nods to Pete.
I think it's great.
Yeah. So
now,
they did finally retire.
I'm all for baseball moving back into March if it ends Labor Day.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
But
Then Dr. Crane's going to, what about November baseball?
October baseball, Joe.
October
Whatever.
baseball.
You still
It
got
should be
October
over. It should be
baseball.
over in November.
I hope so.
Yeah.
It should be over Labor Day weekend. It's too much.
I mean, I'm telling you, the way to fix this is just schedule doubleheaders.
But then you're losing revenue at the box office.
If you do, I mean, you could do some day nights.
Clear them out. Come back.
Yeah. Do some
baseball players won't do that now. Everybody's gotten soft.
I know. 615-737-1025. We'll continue our question of the day and all of that here on Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We are Three's Company with Dr. Crane, of course. He's hanging out. You know, he's back at the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. It always is. All right, so there's, you know, some reports out there. An old friend of ours, you know, your buddy for sure, J-Rob, John Robinson, has been linked to Jacksonville.
Love it. I mean, why? I mean, look, we'll get into all the things that, you know, towards the end of what he did here was his drafting was terrible, but he had a lot of home runs as well. So I don't think you can't discard that.
Yeah, no, he did. So, I mean, how would Titans fans feel if John Robinson was hired as the general manager of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
You already know.
It'd bother him. I think it'd bother him.
Oh, absolutely.
I think they'd pretend that it wouldn't, but I think it would.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think it would.
Do you think he would trade for Treylon Burks? I would.
You know what would be the ultimate just middle finger if you traded for AJ Brown?
I mean, he could, right? All these things that go on.
He gets that job and he like calls up Philly and goes, "Hey, I'll give you a first-round pick for AJ Brown."
I think it would be great for John Robinson to go down there and let him have this chance and see what he could do, because you know the owner of the Jags is going to bring him in, Shad Khan, and John Robinson every day is going to work every day with one goal in mind: beating the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah,
every single day, and giving the big middle finger to Amy Adams every single day.
So he's set to interview for the job. I don't know when. He interviewed for the Jets job, I believe.
I think reportedly did.
Yeah. Well, I actually know he did.
Oh, come on now.
So he did. And now this, but do we have that clip from Charles?
Yes, sir.
All right. This was Charles Robinson this morning on with Joe and PK.
Rob? I think J-Rob's got a shot. I really do. I think he's got a chance. And you know, the Liam Cohen thing was just, everything has been, oh my God, what a mess this entire offseason. And the crazy thing about the Liam Cohen hiring that, you know, really made you aware how messy this was going to get, it's just so openly backwards in this franchise, and it starts at the top. There's going to be something to overcome, even if John gets that shot ultimately, which of the candidates they've brought in, I think, you know, from an experience standpoint, he probably brings more to the table than a lot of people they've interviewed at this stage.
That was Charles Robinson this morning talking about John Robinson interviewing for the Jags job. Look, it's a messed up organization. I mean, we think this one's messed up. They're neck and neck for being the worst franchises in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Shad Khan, for whatever reason, he can't stay out of the way. He can't stay out of his own way when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I just, I don't know. I don't know. But if you're John Robinson, you want to get back in, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's your way back in.
And this is the perfect opportunity, because you're going to come back in again with every day. You're going to do everything you can to beat the Tennessee Titans. We've talked about this before. You just got to be better than three other teams in your division: the Texans, the Colts, and the Jags. And that you got to be better than them, and the Titans, the four teams in the AFC South. But you got a guy coming here who's drafted well. But he needs to be asked his evaluation, because I'll give him the Isaiah Wilson.
Yeah.
We had no idea. Nobody had an idea on that. The Caleb Farley, awful.
Yeah.
That was absolutely awful. The knee-jerk reaction to take Treylon Burks, awful. I still am not happy with the Corey Davis number 5 in 2017. Awful. Then you look at 19.
Was that him?
Yeah, number 5. Because in Adoree Jackson was 17 that year.
That's right.
And I have no problem with Adoree Jackson 17 until I found out he didn't like getting yelled at by Vrabel, and he was a big old sissy. Then he left. But the 19 draft was a home run.
Yeah.
Simmons, Hooker, Brown, Nate Davis.
His first draft in 19 were his best drafts.
Yeah. I'll give
So
him
I guess
16.
16. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got Derrick Henry.
Nobody hits it. If everybody hit it perfectly, then
Yeah.
you'd be a 30-year GM in the league.
Look, I'm not going to fault a GM when they miss. It's just, I mean, that's a part of the game. Like, and a lot of times you're going to have more misses than you're going to have hits. But it's just like baseball. If you're hitting 300, a 300 average,
can't do that. You can't compare.
Well, I'm just saying,
All right.
but I'm just saying, like, that's kind of how it is. Like, if you're 300, 400, like, that's a pretty good clip
In baseball.
But even in the draft, it's just hard. You can evaluate a guy all you want, when he's in college football, but
you need to hit on half of your draft choices in every single one of your first and second rounders. You have to hit on those.
I agree, but we know that's not going to happen.
I know, but that's what needs to happen. But again, I don't. And people like Isaiah Wilson. Nobody knew.
Who's the best GM the Titans have ever had?
I mean, Floyd was good.
Floyd.
I don't know who the GM was in the late 70s and 80s who got Earl Campbell and all them. He was pretty good.
Well, it was probably. I mean, it was different then. Like the coach had a lot of the say, back then. But
I mean, they went to two
in
straight
the Titans era, it's Floyd.
Yeah,
Floyd missed. Floyd missed on some.
They
on
all
some guys.
do.
I mean, Floyd hit. He hit on McNair. He hit on George. He hit on Curse.
He missed on Andre Woolfolk.
Missed on Andre Woolfolk.
Ben Troop. Although Ben Troop was a second rounder.
Yeah.
But you're right. No, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you on this.
Hit on Derek Mason in the 4th round.
But that's the thing. You'll hit on those guys and you make yourself feel great, and you did a great job on that. But that's what you got. Those are guys that build the team. But again, you can't. The 2020 and 22 was awful. Just awful. And the Burks thing to me still hurts because that was. I don't think they had a emergency plan at that time.
Yeah.
And I think that showed how the value was just so discombobulated of their team and everything else.
They had a scout that I think, and I don't know who it was, that just had John convinced, hey, he's AJ. We'll just replace AJ with him. That's it. Like, I mean, I really think that was the thought process.
Did you see Burks' tape from Arkansas?
Yeah,
he was good.
He was really good.
He's really good. Big boy.
He wasn't AJ, but he was really good.
But the problem, I don't know what happened. I don't know from the time you see him on tape to the time he gets here, and he's terrible. He's not tough. He's not fast. It's just the intangibles that make you a good player aren't there.
Everyone, if everyone in this world can answer that question, if they're willing to be honest with everyone else and themselves. Money changes you, whether you want to believe that or not.
Oh yeah,
money changes you,
right?
And there are these guys that in college they played their ass off, and some of them do it for the love of the game,
right?
Some of them do it because they know they're going to get a big fat check when they walk across that stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that Treylon Burks was this way, but he's got 1 touchdown in 3 years. I don't even think he has 1,000 yards.
Combined.
He's hurt all the time.
Yeah.
He had asthma as his excuse, starting out. Where was that crap in college?
I'm with you, man. I'm 100%.
Isaiah Wilson was a prime example, which nobody saw coming. It's all about, do you love football?
Right.
If you don't love football, then that's going to be a problem.
Right.
You're right. Because Isaiah Wilson, what it turned out to be is he just wanted the check. And he got it.
Yeah. And look, Sam Pittman was his coach at Georgia, raved about him. You saw the tape. He was a hell of a player. It just sucks that he was terrible. It just one of things that happened there. But I don't blame Robinson for that. I do the Burks and I do the Caleb Farley. To me, it was just when I saw they took him that night, like, you got to be kidding me. This guy's injured. And he's really not that good.
3337, and I had to be a smart ass. So I'm sorry. Is he the first GM to have a first round pick that never played a regular season snap ever? Isaiah Wilson played 4 snaps. Let's get it right now.
Did he actually play in a game?
He played 4 snaps.
Wow.
His pick set us back 5 years, and we're 2 years in.
Not wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
That's the what if game. We do all the time.
And that's the thing. It's the GM's going to take it all because it's all going to be on the GM, but it's not all on the GM. I mean, the owner has a lot to do with this too.
Oh, as far as what?
Is where
Drafting?
the franchise is.
Oh, no. Where the franchise is, yes.
Because look, she meddled in the AJ thing. Like
she did.
There's no denying that.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not going to get into this with Rexrode again. And that look, he's culpable in it too, but she is as well. Because she could have very easily said,
"Keep him
now, John. Now we need to work this out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep him. Let's not do that."
That's all she could have done. Said, "We'll do it. Whatever it takes. We'll keep him." But she said no, which made the trade happen. Joe Rexrode.
Yeah.
John Robinson just didn't say, "I'm trading this guy. You got to run to the top, right?"
Yeah, sure.
That's what happened, and he's gone.
So what happens, Titans fans, if John Robinson is hired as the GM of the Jags and he actually turns that dumpster fire around? How are you going to feel? Are some of you going to change your opinion of him, or have you truly just moved on? We'll discuss that next. 615-737-1025. We mentioned NASCAR, the duel at Daytona coming up tonight. It's actually on 1025 The Game. Coverage will begin at 5 o'clock with the race at 6 o'clock, presented by Green Trees and the new Cumberland.com. Race broadcasts also available on the Game Nashville app and thegamenashville.com. Tune in to 94.9 The Fan tonight. Vanderbilt women's basketball as the Commodores take on Mississippi State at Memorial Gym. It'll be an 8 o'clock tip with the pregame at 7:45. Vandy women's basketball is presented by Athletes Unlimited Pro Basketball coming to Nashville's Municipal Auditorium now through March 2nd. Just go to auprobasketball.com for more details and to purchase tickets. Chasing Big Joe live today at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes. So what if John Robinson goes to Jacksonville and has success? Are Titans fans going to have a conniption or just no longer care?
Here's one, Lenny. The question is, how would Strunk feel about Robinson being at Jacksonville? Well, I'm sure she wouldn't like it, but I don't know.
I mean, would she care? She fired him.
He's off the payroll, right? This is his last year on the payroll?
Yeah, right.
So he's off the payroll. That's all she sees.
Then she only has to pay one GM to not work.
Right.
Instead of two.
For like the next 4 years. So, yeah, he's off the payroll. And all she sees, look, man, she wants to win. Bottom line with her, money. It's all about money. What's the bottom line? Like, who was that came on our show and said, look, she's never had a job.
Yeah.
She's never done anything outside the family.
Who did say that? Yeah, I remember that.
She's just that she is her father's daughter. Yeah. That's it. The bottom line is how much money can we make and how good can we look?
Well, and look, I mean, she's in a perfect position. The stadium's coming along. I mean, because at the end of the day, look, the NFL, you want to win, but you're still going to make money. It doesn't matter if you win. That doesn't decide it. So the new stadium gets done here in a couple of years. You're in Nashville, Tennessee. She can cash out for over $6 billion if she wants to.
They ain't. That
I disagree. I think she will.
Nope. I think there's some clause.
I think
with family, it's staying there forever.
This can be a long-term discussion, but I think she sells the team within the next 7 years.
No,
I think she does. I think the value goes up too much.
And then what does she have? All she's ever known is that football team. Now you're outside looking in.
I mean, what did she do before he died and she took over?
She ran some horse farm. Is that right?
I guess. Something? I mean, look, if she loved the football team so much, like, why wasn't she the controlling owner right away?
Probably.
Why did she let Tommy Smith jump in?
And then realized it was going straight to hell, and then they did a coup d'etat.
Where's it going now?
And got his fat ass out. Hit the road.
I mean, here's the thing. Where's it going now?
You got a stadium being built.
I understand that.
Look,
but
brother,
like from a performance standpoint, you had a worse year than that year.
In order for a phoenix to rise from the ashes, it first must burn to the ground.
Okay.
So now we go up from here.
So it's going to rise from the ashes. So Super Bowl in 2 years.
You hope it is. This franchise, long as she's here, ain't getting to a Super Bowl.
No.
They're not.
No.
They're not getting there.
I don't even like what's funny. I was literally about to say, but what if Mike Morganzi is the savior and he comes in and he fixes this thing and he finds the quarterback and he rebuilds this roster and within 3 years, they're playing in the Super Bowl. Like, that's a pipe dream.
That's
an
not
absolute
even a dream.
Pipe dream.
It's not even. I don't even think about that. I don't see
it's
it
a drug-induced dream, is what it is.
It's not. It's just not happening. That's why if Vrabel's wildly successful in New England and Robinson gets his job in Jacksonville, and you sit back and look in the fact that you had these guys, AJ Brown still got to drive you crazy for what he's doing.
Yeah.
The guy won a Super Bowl, scored a touchdown, and it just looks bad.
Yep.
That you had all this here. I mean. That 21 team, probably the third best team in this city. 99, or I think 2000, the 99, and then 21.
No, I'd agree with that.
Loaded.
Well, all right. Where do you put 2008?
It's there, but as far as the pure talent, it's behind that, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, 21, Derek and AJ Brown. I mean, you just playmakers that you had on that team. Is Julio still then? 21, yeah. He wasn't great, but still here. I mean, you had some pieces that could have gone, and now they're all gone.
Yep.
They're all gone. It's almost as bad as the Mavericks trade. It's gone. So you don't want John Robinson to be successful. If you are a true Titans fan, you don't want him being successful. And you might like him, but let's stop it's the whole SEC thing. If you're a Tennessee fan, do you want Alabama to ever do anything? No, right. You don't.
So
nothing.
I want to ask you this. So Jared has said multiple times he doesn't think Vrabel's going to be successful in Boston.
You don't know that.
Do you think that, well, that's my question.
Yeah.
Do you think that he actually believes that, or do you think that that is the excuse and the hope that he isn't, because if he is, then this place is going to look even dumber than they already do?
I think it's a great radio show topic that he doesn't believe to get people to call in. It's great. I think it is. It's smart. Smart on his part. But the guy's proven he can be successful. So he was here 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So 3 playoffs, AFC Championship game. Probably would have gone to 4 had Robinson not been fired in the middle of the season in 22.
Well, he could have gone to 5
if Mariota wasn't a sissy.
If Mariota hadn't gotten hurt and he had to start big game Blaine against the Colts on a rainy, cold Sunday night here in Nashville that I sat in.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
who never lost to the Titans. No, So they're like, well, the argument could be, well, they didn't do it, but the promise was there. They had the opportunity to go there. They had the opportunity to play in those games and to go to the playoffs, whereas last year was just a disaster. I still think it's a disaster. I don't think Brian Callahan's back next year. I think it's over. I think this is going to be another muddled year.
Yeah.
4-13.
Coming up next, we'll talk some hockey with our man Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. We'll do that next. Chasing Big Joe live at the Omni, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game here on this Thursday at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes. Always enjoy our time here. Let's now talk to our man Greg Wyshynski, ESPN senior NHL writer, sponsored by Old National Bank. Get old. Greg, Four Nations face-off. So far, I'm a fan. How are you?
I'll let you know if I'm a fan after we play Canada on Saturday and after the championship on Thursday. No. Last night was exactly what this tournament needed. I talked to hockey people all day. There was a healthy skepticism about the quality of play in this tournament. Was there going to be hitting? Was it going to be a glorified all-star game? And I think last night's game with Canada and Sweden really answered those questions, that the games are going to be intense. The level of skill is going to be incredible. And thanks to Sweden's comeback, we got a little bit of drama last night in the overtime. So it was the perfect launching point for this new event. It put it on the radar of a lot of people. And then obviously the NHL hopes that the diehards and the casuals all tune in on Saturday night to watch the USA take on Canada.
I do know this. I got word this morning that Team Canada is going to get some citations because it's illegal to have Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, and Sam Reinhart all on the ice at the same time. That's basically their power play. And I saw that and was like, how in the world do you defend that?
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, NATO should step in with some sanctions to take away the weaponry that Canada has in their arsenal. It's incredible. I mean, if you didn't see the goal that they scored last night, it was Makar at the point to McDavid. He plays catch with Crosby for a second, and then Crosby sends a blind backhand pass to McKinnon for an unstoppable shot. Brad Marchand of Team Canada was asked the other day, how would you defend this power play? And he's like, teams should be allowed to put all three of their goalies in the net at the same time. And I don't even think that would have done the trick last night with how good that power play looked. I will note, though, and this is going to be hilarious for anybody who watches the second of the NHL, Canada did not get another power play the entire game, which is so typical of NHL officiating. If you watch an Edmonton game and their power play is clicking at 40% with McDavid and Draisaitl, they have a funny way of not getting a power play when they're up 3-1. And Canada had the lead in that game early. They kept the lead into the third period, and lo and behold, they didn't even get another second of power play time in that game after what they did on their first power play.
So I'm curious of your thoughts on overtime, because they're doing NHL rules and all those things, but a 10-minute 3-on-3, I know the guys were saying last night they were absolutely gassed after that. I'm not a huge fan of the 3-on-3 in general, but I know there were talks of they try it here and then maybe adopt it in the NHL altogether. But what did you think about an extended 3-on-3?
Well, let me ask a question to your question. How do you feel about the shootout?
I don't know. The Predators they've been in one this year, I think. And so it was like, oh, this is exciting. Haven't seen this in a while, which is kind of what it was supposed to be, when they put it in there. So it's gimmicky. I think they're both gimmicky, but I would rather have that and have a result than have a tie, because I think ties should not exist in pro sports.
I get you on that. I hate the shootout. I hate the idea that we've taken this team game and we end it in a situation where there's not a defenseman playing his position. There's not a pass attempted. It's a lousy way to finish off the previous 65 minutes of team game that we saw.
Yeah.
So when I look at a 10-minute 3-on-3, I say to myself, okay, that's 10 minutes of time that you're giving to these incredible, talented athletes to figure out a way to end this game before we get to a shootout. And I think if you give them that kind of runway, and even the most boring 3-on-3 has a few moments where somebody misses a shot, and then for the next minute and a half, it's like a Looney Tunes cartoon. It's just crazy. And so if you do that over the course of 10 minutes, I think you probably reduce shootouts to nothing. You reduce shootouts to being extremely rare. And then to your point, then they actually become kind of cool because you never get to see them. So I'm in favor of expanding 3-on-3 to 10 minutes and giving these guys all the chance in the world. The other innovation in this tournament, though, is that it's the first time the NHL is rolling out the idea of giving 3 points for a regulation win, 2 points for an overtime win, 1 point for an overtime loss. And that's kind of the sidebar of that Canada game last night, is that they blew a third period lead and left a point on the table. They only get 2 points for that win last night. So depending how things go against the U.S. on Saturday, depending how Sweden does for the rest of the tournament, that point that they lost last night could maybe come back into play later in the tournament.
You know, Greg, I know it's an honor to play for your home country, but if I'm a GM and my star player is playing in this four-nation tournament, I'm on the edge of my seat, and I'm not sure I'm happy about that. Has there been any scuttlebutt from GMs about one of their star players? And I hate you talk injuries, they might happen or whatever, but any talk about, I'm not so sure I want my star player in this thing?
Well, we already had an injury last night. Shea Theodore of the Vegas Golden Knights is out of the tournament. He injured his hand bracing himself on a hit from Adrian Kempe of Sweden. I don't know what the X-ray result was. All I know is that John Cooper said he's not playing the rest of the tournament, which of course opened up an interesting conversation about Vegas. Are they happy or sad that one of their guys can go on long-term injured reserve? Vegas famous for stashing those guys on long-term injured reserve and then using their salary cap space at the trade deadline. But obviously you never want to see a guy get hurt. Yeah, that's the scary part about all of this. That's the scary part about sending the boys to the Olympics. It's playing in these exhibition tournaments that have nothing to do with the playoff race in the regular season. And that's why you saw, for example, the Vancouver Canucks and Quinn Hughes have a real come to Jesus conversation about, hey, buddy, you're not 100%. We're in a playoff race. You've been our MVP. Ultimately, it's your call, but here's what our doctors are saying. And maybe wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's better if you stay home and he's not playing for the U.S. So it is a gamble, but that's why you got to give credit to the players and give credit to the teams, their investment in this. You can count on one hand the number of guys that have asked out of this tournament for injury concerns because everyone else who was named to the rosters is pretty much playing.
So let's flip it on a guy like UC Saros, who's not having the best year. We all can admit that. He goes his tournament, Greg, and he plays lights out and shuts out these teams. What can that do for a guy like him who's having that rough year when he goes out there and he shuts down three other nations, some of the best players on the planet?
Well, it could definitely give you some confidence back, right, for the rest of the regular season. And but it also speaks to something that's unique about these kinds of events. And it's the same thing that players say about the outdoor games that they play during the regular season, which is that they could come at a time when you don't want them to come. You know, if you're a team that was absolutely rolling, you didn't want to see this break show up and break your momentum, and now you got to come back and build it back up again. That's kind of a bummer. But if you're not playing well and you have one of these events as kind of like a break in your season or a chance to just kind of like do something else for a little bit and get your mind off the spiral that is your season, sometimes it can be transformative. Sometimes it could be the therapy that you need. And in the case of a guy like Jussi, I mean, Lord knows, playing for Finland and maybe playing well for Finland could certainly go a long way in trying to get his head right in what's been a really rough season for him.
I always like to look at teams when they head into the break, how well they're playing. And this Winnipeg team, Greg, hits the break, winning 8 straight games. What are they doing so well that nobody seems to be able to figure out? And this team looks like, oh, okay, they've hit a plateau and they've lost again. Then they win 5 more. What are they doing so well in Winnipeg?
I mean, their foundation is the best goalie on the planet. So that's always a good place to start. Hellebuck has been incredible for them. Hopefully he continues to be incredible for the U.S. in this tournament. But, you know, when you look at the percentage of games that he's won, it's astounding. I think at one point in recently, it was like the Jets won 37 games and he had 33 wins of those games. So, I mean, he's just been responsible for a lot of the things that have gone right for them. And when things have not worked out for them in other departments of the team, he's always been there as a steadying presence. But they score a lot of goals. Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor, they've got some good offensive depth on that team. But for the thing that impresses me most about them, and it's something that I wrote about earlier this year, they've really kind of got their minds in the right place insofar as using the regular season to build things with an eye towards the playoffs, not get too high, not get too low, just sort of keep the train rolling and working on what you need to do to be better players, because they've had a couple of regular seasons now where they've done well and then they go to the playoffs and they get absolutely whacked. So I think they've got the right mindset, they've got the right talent mix, and they, of course, have a goaltender that gives them the confidence that they can be okay if other parts of the team aren't working out right.
Well, I'm just glad the NHL Jets have it figured out, because the NFL Jets have definitely not figured it out.
I saw a report this morning that we might draft Jackson Dart from Ole Miss, which is the state of affairs of our quarterback situation right now. It's going to be like Tyrod Taylor, whatever's left of Kirk Cousins if the Falcons cut him, and then maybe Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. Like, I don't know. I mean, I didn't want Rodgers
He
back
ain't bad.
either. But, who, Jackson?
Well, 8 minutes ago, they tweeted, "We have informed Aaron Rodgers that we will be moving on in a different direction." I'm like, okay, thanks. I think we knew that.
We knew that. Yeah. I mean, listen, I think it doesn't. What he did in basically what was garbage time for the rest of that season does not mean anything to me. And the guy is still one hit away from being out. So.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was a circus. I do find it funny though that like what probably caused the final schism between the two was like the new coaches being like, "Stop doing McAfee," and he's like, "Absolutely not." And I'm just like, "All right, happy trails, man. Enjoy probably the Rams."
Right.
One more for Greg Wyshynski is with us. One more for you on hockey. The trade deadline is approaching, and I found it interesting because I had somebody from the front office of the Preds kind of explain this to me, that there's not really a roster freeze going on right now during this break. So, trades could potentially happen or conversations could happen. How active do you think GMs are going to be, though, once the break is over and play resumes?
Oh, it's a real mystery. I mean, there's been some reporting about how their players have been told, "Hey, listen, we know this is a break for you, but there's a chance that trades are going to occur over this 2 weeks." And I do expect there's going to be at least some action. But that being said, I mean, I think there's a reason why we had a mad dash of stuff getting done right before the Four Nations tournament, the Rantanen trade, the JT Miller trade, and, Pittsburgh and Vancouver do their business. It's a bunch of stuff, big stuff happened right early on. And then the trade deadline's March 7th. So when this thing is done, there's still a decent amount of real estate before we get the actual trade deadline. So I'm guessing there's going to be most of the business done after this tournament. I know the NHL, when they do these big events, typically likes there not to be anything that overshadows the event. I think that's probably a factor too. But then once this thing is done, I mean, hell, there might be a trade completed by the time the guys are getting their medals after that championship game next Thursday. That's how quickly things are going to move.
For sure. Going to be interesting. Enjoy the rest of the Four Nations tournament. Looking forward to getting your thoughts on that next week. So thanks so much. We'll talk to you then.
Anytime. Talk to you soon.
Greg Wyshynski joining us here on the program from ESPN, presented by Old National Bank. Get old.
So when we come back, we need to talk about something that people are still talking about that happened at the Super Bowl on Sunday, and it's a bunch of nothing. Yet the story I'm reading right now, the story won't go away. It's driving me crazy.
Does this have something to do with a certain show?
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay.
But I want your opinion because it's driving me crazy that we're still talking about this.
We will do that, and we'll take your calls and text 615-737-1025. Our phone and text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Chasing Big Joe, 1025-1063 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Did you clap, Dr. Crane?
I did.
Good. We're glad because you needed to.
Thank
Nashville's best deal this week, 312 Pizza Company in Germantown. Big Joe and Dr. Crane love it. So do I. 312 Pizza Company serves the best pizza in town, as well as Chicago-style eats like Chicago dogs, Italian beef sandwiches, and more. Just head to theGameNashville.com/deals to get half off a $30 gift card to 312 Pizza Company while supplies last.
You ready?
Yeah, that's you.
So for the last 24 hours before the Aaron Rodgers news just broke, and do you want to go over that again real quick?
Yes, the New York Jets have tweeted that they are parting ways with Aaron Rodgers.
We're moving on.
Moving on.
So there you go, Aaron Rodgers news. So this on the NFL landing page on ESPN.com, this was the number one story for the last 24 hours until Aaron Rodgers moved out. And it's driving me insane. And you people are going to know why when I tell you this.
Real quick, this is kind of a big deal, so I'm going to pass this along. Colorado's Travis Hunter will attend the combine as a cornerback. So I guess he had to declare what position he was going to be. So he's going to go as a DB.
Interesting. Because the money is in wide receiver, but I digress. Yeah. All right. So the story on ESPN.com for 24 hours was Saquon Barkley doesn't understand why fans booed Taylor Swift. This story will not go away. Do you know why Taylor Swift got booed at the Superdome?
I mean, I think there's a myriad of reasons.
Here it is. I was told between 70 to 75% of that crowd were Eagles fans.
Okay.
Who is she dating?
Travis Kelce.
Who's he play for?
Chiefs.
Story over.
There you go.
They booed her because she's dating a Chiefs player.
Are people trying to make this a political thing?
Oh, yeah. They're getting far, and it's not. I don't think we are. I think the media is trying to do this.
Can I just say,
let's stop this.
There are people listening to this program right now that are going to disagree with me to the end of time, and that's fine. I don't give a rat's ass who you voted for or what your political beliefs are. And you should not give a rat's ass about anybody else. Just focus on you. But we let that stuff seep into our everyday lives and what music we like and what movies we like or TV shows we like. It's like, oh, they voted for Trump or, oh, they voted for Kamala. I don't care.
Yeah, right.
Why do you care so much what other people do with their lives and everything?
I totally agree. And so for him not to understand why his fan base booed somebody who's dating a Chiefs player, it's Philadelphia fans. They are beautiful, and they all sports fans are ignorant, and they're everything you want them to be. And Eagles fans are passionate about their team. So when you flash it on the scoreboard, they're going to boo. The fact he doesn't understand.
But you know what?
Gosh.
Well, here's what's funny. They would not have booed if the other Kelce, if Jason had been up there with her like he was last year.
Yeah, right.
If they had shown her and Jason, you could have covered it up.
There we go. That's a good point.
I don't know if he was up there this year or where he was. I mean, I know he was doing some stuff for ESPN too. It might have been working.
But it's everywhere. And then People Magazine, I got on their Facebook page because they had the same story. I was like, look, she's dating a Chiefs player, and it was a pro-Philly crowd. Yeah. And somebody's like, are you in favor of bullying? To me, folks, if you get booed like that, that's not bullying. That is not, I'm sorry, that's not bullying. That's sports fans having fun booing somebody on a Jumbotron. Let's let this story go away. But the fact that it's still sitting here 24 hours later drives me crazy, man. Move on. But I guess if you talk Taylor Swift, people are going to go there and comment, and it drives your numbers up. I know how the game is played, but my goodness, man, move on.
So Ryan Burr, who works for the Big Ten Network, put out there about an hour ago, the Steelers are inquiring about Trevor Lawrence and potentially trading for him. That'd be interesting. Yeah, so John Robinson gets the job in Jacksonville. First thing he does is trade Trevor Lawrence to Pittsburgh.
Oh, my goodness.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I don't think Trevor Lawrence is that good. I think he's overrated. I mean, he's good, but I don't think
who's better in this scenario? I mean,
I mean,
right?
Like, is he the answer?
But here's the deal. You lose that that contract moves up to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So you're out all year. You don't have to pay that money.
Yeah. And you blame it on the last guy. It's not your fault. It's like, I want to restart. I want to hit reset.
Trevor Lawrence, let him go. And now, where does Jacksonville pick?
Are they third? No.
The Jags, I believe, are 6th this year.
6? I thought the Raiders were 6. You might be right, though. They are, because remember that going into the last weekend, I mean, it all shifted around. The Jags
5.
are 5th, yeah. So Raiders are 6.
So it goes Titans, Browns, Giants, Patriots, Raiders,
Jags,
and Raiders. Okay,
yeah. And then the Jets.
So you have Vrabel, John Robinson, and the Titans all.
God. Give me that. Just
top
yes. Just
5.
put it right here. Yeah.
A 3-way trade with everybody that goes on.
Give me all.
I love the chaos, man. This is great.
Oh man, that would be good. Be certainly something.
Yeah. With all that, and he's interviewing today, John Robinson.
I guess
they probably want to move on something. Get in the combine within the next 2 weeks. I mean, you probably want to get your staff in there and go on. I see every reason to hire him.
If you're the quarterback shuffle is going to be interesting. So we know Rodgers is out there now, unless Rodgers retires, which I don't think he's going to. I don't think he wants to go out that way.
Right.
The market for him is not going to be huge, but there's still going to be one.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I do think the Titans. I definitely think the Titans could be in play. I don't think that would be the wisest move, but I think they could be in play. Saints. Are the Saints in play? What would be hilarious, absolutely hilarious, is if the Vikings just let Darnold go and then they sign him, and he literally would have followed Favre's footsteps.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like he would have done. The only difference would have been Favre only played 1 year with the Jets, which technically Aaron did too, but he was on the team for 2.
He's not going to go to the Browns.
No, they can't. No, they got enough.
Colts have their quarterback in here.
I don't know. I would not rule them out, even though there's a billboard that somebody put up that said the Colts are not signing Aaron Rodgers.
Raiders to me is the landing spot. Or he could go across the river to the Giants.
Are he and Brady going to vibe, though?
I think they could. I think because Brady could talk to him and Brady could corral him in. Brady could tell him what to do. Brady could be this. And if Aaron's got a problem, he can go to Brady because Brady understands what he's going through. But is that going to get you? What's going to get you? Man?
If you're – okay, let's talk about this coming up next. Because to me, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to look at this one way and one way only. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. One of the greatest TV themes of all time. Who shot JR?
It was Bing Crosby's daughter.
Yeah. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 the game here on this TV themed Thursday at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Kitchen Notes. I just looked at, so I saw Ryan McGee from ESPN. He tweeted, this was yesterday, but that it might rain Sunday in Daytona Beach.
Right.
I just checked it now. It's moved from a 60% chance to a 47% chance, more in the afternoon. So we've improved a little bit, but of course Monday's clear. So, I mean, can we just have one Daytona 500?
Monday
actually?
Always clear down there, right? And this is the thing?
Yep.
No,
The year they ran it at in prime time on a Monday night, I actually liked that. I thought that was cool. That was when Danica, I think, was on the pole, and Juan Pablo Montoya ran into the jet dryer and it blew up on the racetrack.
God, that's right. That's right. God, when was that? Like 2008, 9? Something along those lines?
Yeah, 10 or 11.
A
maybe.
while ago.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, they had just repaved the track, and it was funny because all the cars were on the backstretch and had to stop. They couldn't get back to pit road because the jet dryer was in like 3
How do you
or
hit
4.
a jet dryer?
I don't know. I still don't know.
I
mean, he hit everything else on the track. So.
I mean, you got a spotter. Watch out for the jet dryer. Okay, I mean, then there it is.
Something broke on the car. I can't remember what it was.
What
But it reminds me of that line from Days of Thunder when they're under caution and Harry radios into Cole and he goes, "Cole, I want you to do something." He goes, "Okay, Harry, I want you to hit the pace car. Hit the pace car." He goes, "Hit the pace car." Well, what for? You hit everything else out there. I want you to be perfect.
That's got one of the greatest lines in movie history for me, because Tom Cruise's character has all the concussions and he's in the trailer and he's getting a race at Daytona 500. And she says, "I can't let you race. I cannot let you race. You've got a concussion." And he says, "Claire, I am more afraid of being nothing than I am being scared."
Yeah.
Like, oh, what a line. What a great line that is.
Yeah.
Did he win the race? I don't remember.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
In Rowdy's car.
In Rowdy's car. That came out in 1990. Gosh.
It did. Randy Quaid's in the movie.
Fred Dalton Thompson.
Yep. He's in.
R.I.P.
You're right. He is
NASCAR president.
Yeah, he's basically Bill France.
Yep.
Is who he's supposed to be.
Man, that is time flies, pal.
And then let's see, Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman. That's how they met. And then who is it that played Rowdy?
He ended up being in. He was in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of stuff.
JFK.
He's a good actor. Michael Rooker.
Michael Rooker.
Yep. Michael Rooker.
He had the great line in JFK, I think, when he told Kevin Costner when he got kicked off the team. He says, "How do you know who your daddy is, boy? Because your mama told you so."
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, that's another good
Michael
line.
Rooker, he was also in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, that's correct.
Kevin said 2012. That's when Juan Pablo.
2012.
Yeah, that's right.
Wasn't he a good road car driver or something?
He was road courses, but he was a good IndyCar F1 guy. In fact, I think he won the Indy 500. And hang on, let me check that.
Why are you checking that? Let me ask you a question.
He did.
Daytona 500 lost its luster.
Here's NASCAR's biggest problem. And they knew they were going to have to address this eventually. They just didn't think it would be when it was. They don't have a guy with the last name of Earnhardt, Petty, or Waltrip. And they thought that they could, use Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Bill Elliott was pretty popular. It's like, okay, his son, he can kind of carry the sport. They don't have a face. And so therefore, to answer your question, I'd say yes, it has. Now it's sold out. It's going to be watched. They need the rain to get out of the way. And,
Right.
And they don't have anybody with the last name of Gordon either. Shouldn't forget him. But they don't have a face. They don't have that guy.
It would dominate conversation the whole week.
Right.
And I know we're football centric here, and I get all that, but it would just dominate, and you look forward to it, and you get plans on Sunday. And I just think it's lost a tad, but it's luster because I think pro football has become such a giant in everything that it dominates all the coverage. Like today, you watch Sports Center.
Yes, Juan Pablo did win the Indy.
Okay. Are they leading with Daytona duels? Or are they going to lead with Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. And that's just the way it is now. But the purist and race fan still thinks and should always think that Daytona 500 is the Super Bowl of NASCAR. And it is.
Yeah.
It's the only sport that has their all-star whatever at the beginning of the season instead of at the end, their championship.
It just, I want to see it. I mean, look, the racing's better. They've gotten that fixed. But like I was watching old YouTube clips of like the late 90s and the early 2000s and just how good it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even post Dale Earnhardt, like it still was good. And you had Dale Jr. and you had Jeff Gordon and you had Jimmy Johnson and Tony and those guys. And you had the good guys and the bad guys. It was what everybody wanted. You had the villains and the heroes. Yeah. And it's just like you don't really have that anymore.
Right.
Like there's no driver that you absolutely love, and there's no driver that you absolutely hate.
That's a great point. I want to see the driver who looks like he just changed my oil at Packard's BP and Donaldson, who's missing his front teeth, who's going to get out there on Sunday,
smoked a full pack of Marlboros.
It's going to ram me into the wall. I mean, that's the driver. That's the driver we all grew up with.
Rubbin's son is racing,
and now there's not that guy out there.
No,
there's truly not.
They're all, real clean cut. And that's the other thing. When Bill France Jr. died and Brian took over, they tried to grow too much. They were too worried about California, and they were too worried about, building something in New York. Trump was supposed to build a track in, the New York area, and they never did that. And there were just all these things that it was like, I get it. You want to expand, and expansion's good, but don't forget about your roots. And now look what they're doing. Now they're going back to their roots. They're reopening places like North Wilkesboro, Rockingham. If the Fair Board and everybody here would get off their ass, they'd go back to the fairgrounds. Like,
right.
There's Bowman Gray. So they're acknowledging change, but they're also going back to these historic short tracks. And what NASCAR is doing, their thought process with the Clash is going to a historic short track, paying some money to fix it up and kind of pay it forward to the next generation. Like, I love that. Like they spent some money putting in new lights at Bowman Gray and, some improvements there so they could run the Clash. Well, now all the local racers that go to that track and the fans that go and watch the race there, they get to enjoy that.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you.
It's just it's in a better place, but I wish it still had that luster. Like, because I agree. Like, even as the biggest NASCAR fan as I am, like I'm excited about this weekend. I'll probably be more excited, once the green flag flies on Sunday. But it's not that same feeling that I used to have.
No,
because I don't have like my favorite driver anymore.
Right, and that plays a lot into it. It's always the good versus evil.
Yeah.
I mean, we grew up playing watching football. It was Steelers and Cowboys. You lived here in Nashville. Well, Cowboys are all the pretty boys, and the Steelers are that tough, grinding, blue collar city. And it was, you had a reason to root for or against somebody.
Yeah.
Now you make a good point. It's like,
it just, yeah.
Oh man.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays. But right now, are you hungry? Maybe you want to have a Daytona 500 party on Sunday. You can win. Caller number 3 will win a catering voucher from Salsarita's Fresh Mexican Grill, located at 2515 West End Avenue in the heart of Vandy Country. That cater meal will feed up to 10 people, authentic Mexican flavors, dine-in, pickup, delivery, and catering. Visit them online at salsaritas.com. Caller number 3 right now, 615-737-1025. Well, Days of Thunder bringing us back. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3. The Game here on this Thursday. We're presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, and of course, live today at Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel. We'll be here next Tuesday. It's a little earlier next week.
Nothing wrong with that, buddy.
Can't wait.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
How many bowls of oatmeal today?
0.
Oh, okay. Well,
Zero
I'm proud
today.
of you.
Got a physical later on today.
Well, hope it
So,
goes well.
Thank you. It should. I feel good about myself.
Well, I feel good about it too, so that's good.
Do you have a ride, Joe?
Still, I do. Are you busy?
Are you?
Take me down.
Dr. Crane has become Joe's personal driver.
Yes.
Listen, the
Sure,
meter's
I'd
running,
rather-
buddy.
I'd rather have you take me than Clay. Clay's somewhere pouting right now.
Glad I don't
Call
get a
in,
negative
Clay.
review.
No, don't. We don't have time for that today. don't call. Call Pogue Show.
Are we? Yeah, right. Are we getting the bonus hour?
No.
We're not doing bonus hour?
We're not.
Okay. All right.
No. So, with that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays. Brought to you by Jared Companies, Inc. Above and beyond industry standards, wide-ranging fire protection, sprinkler systems, extinguishers, kitchen hood suppression. Just visit them at jaredcompaniesinc.com.
All right, gentlemen. First on the list we have here, that's not the pop-up I want. Dream your sweet day is what it says. Dream your sweet day. So,
Well, all right then.
yeah, do that. I don't know what that really means, but okay. Employee
I don't
Legal
either.
Awareness Day. So, employees, legal awareness. Galentine's Day. I believe that's the Valentine's that women
Yes.
celebrate. Let's see here. That's
That's the
different.
one where they all go out and are glad they're single.
Bash on men. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get it.
okay. Good to know. Get a different name day. I think I'm good with mine. Let's
What would
see.
your name be, Dr. Crank, or something else?
Ooh, that's a tough question, Joe. I'd say like a Roberto or I don't know, something just
Roberto
different.
Crane.
Yeah, Roberto Crane. There you go.
I like it. All right.
Roberto. Let's see, International Day of Self-Love. So go ahead and love yourself.
Isn't that every day? Ew.
So this is on here twice. But
Family
I'm just gonna
show.
continue. We also have Kiss Day. So that's, I guess, because the holiday season coming up with
yeah.
Valentine's.
Yeah.
National
Like the band. I love Kiss.
Yeah,
They're a
they're-
great band.
They're great.
Seen them twice.
National Break Up with Your Carrier Day, so your phone carrier. National Cheddar Day, love me some good cheddar cheese.
Yeah.
National Crab Ragoon Day. So,
Yummy.
Yeah, okay.
hey, how about this? National Italian Food Day. Love me some of
Hey,
that.
there you go.
How
Shout out
about
to
it?
Nani.
There we go. National Tortellini Day. We're going to go right behind that.
Tortellini.
Yummy.
Love me some tortellini. And then to wrap it up, World Radio Day. So,
Oh, it is World Radio Day.
how about it?
Nice
Okay.
job. Is that
I
it?
will have to do a post
That
later.
is
so
it,
everybody
sir.
knows that.
All right, time for celebrity birthdays. You got to get these within 2 years. Our first birthday, she was in Greece. She was Jeb Bartlett's the first lady on West Wing, Stockard Channing.
Oh, yeah.
How old is Stockard Channing?
74.
80.
81.
Oh, wow.
She's 81. So Greece came out in 78. So that was
Well, the West Wing, I mean, West Wing came out.
99.
Yeah, it's a great show.
So she was a 35-year-old high school senior. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, next birthday is singer Peter Gabriel, who weirdly enough looks like me in the morning.
Say like 74.
70.
75. Going to shock the monkey, buddy. 75. Who is this guy? Next up
He
is
says that about you, too.
singer Henry Rollins. He was in the movie Heat, too.
70.
65.
64.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Crane knows the default on these things. Pretty actress. I've never seen her in anything, though. Kelly Hu. That's not an actress. We're not playing that one. That's her
Okay.
name.
Who?
Exactly. He's the biggest star in the world except in America. Singer Robbie Williams.
38.
50.
51. Dr.
wow.
Crane's up 3-1. Actress Mina Savari. Was she the Rose Girl in the movie came out in 2000, was the movie of the year with Kevin. Spacey was in it. Oh, it's killing me.
American Beauty.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. Yes.
45.
48.
46. It's now 3-2. Dr. Crane's up. Let's see. Oh, he took over for Buford Potser after Joe Don Baker did it. Actor Bo Svensson.
77.
78.
84. Actor singer David Naughton. He was an American Werewolf in London. And I'm a Pepper, you're a Pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a Dr. Pepper too? He was the singer on that thing. David Naughton.
72.
Is he related to Cal Naughton Jr.?
Yeah, he is.
Cal Naughton Jr.
I'm going to go 58.
74. It's now tied at 3. Good job, Chase. Actor, where are you? Where'd you go? Neil McDonough. Neil McDonough. He's in Yellowstone. He was in Minority Report. He's in Boomtown. He's not kin to H.I. McDonough.
60.
62.
59. Chases up 4-3. All right, time for the sports part of this. Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski. How old is Coach K?
76.
72.
78. Chasers up 5-3. Could pull away and win it here. Former Tennessee running back Charlie Garner had a nice little stay in the National Football League playing for the Eagles. Charlie Garner.
65.
58.
53. Last birthday. Dr. Crane, you can tie it. Chase, you can win it. Hall of Famer Randy Moss.
Good to see him back on ESPN
It is.
after his cancer battle. Randy Moss. 52.
54.
48.
Oh, wow.
Chaser brings it up. Good week for the Chaser. I think you're up 3-1 now. 5-3 you win.
Okay. All right. We'll take that. That will do it for us from Kitchen Notes.
Hey, look, every day we send the same message because we love you guys. You're going through something or anything, please reach out, talk to somebody. It's okay to cry. It's okay to let your feelings out. We've done it all before. It's okay to do all that because we love you. On your cell phone, you can call or text 988. That number is there 24 hours a day. It's there for you to use. So please talk to somebody. If you want to talk to us, you know how to reach out to us. We love talking to you guys and letting you know how much we love you and how much this journey is great. And we're here for you. As we say all the time, we love you. More importantly, more than anything else, God loves you.
And by the way, Celebrity Birthdays brought to you by Jarrett Companies, Inc. Above and beyond industry standards. Visit them at jarrettcompanies.com. That'll do it for us. DVD coming up next here on 102.5.